Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at the Waterhole. We have started off at the hide in Wangi National Park, Zimbabwe, with some pelicans. What an interesting way to start the show today. My name is Kerry Dupree, and I am going to be your naturalist presenter for the afternoon. So just a reminder that this is a live and interactive experience. You can watch us on our app. If you're watching on the website, you could register, ask any questions, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see today, join in the chitter-chatter, let me know what snacks or beverages you have to keep you company for the show today. You can also join in the conversation, head over to X or Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag @WildEarth. There's also a WhatsApp number that will be displayed on screen for you to WhatsApp us directly, and you can use the QR code on screen. What an exciting place to start. So I'm actually in Zimbabwe right now, not in Wangi National Park, unfortunately, but yeah, lovely to see some pelicans. So looks like it could be the great white pelicans. Let's have a look. See, we've also got a heron, a grey heron here that looks like he is looking for a bit of a meal. Could be looking for a little fish to catch, for his lunch. Talking about lunch, I'd love to know what you are having for your lunch or having for a snack. I've got a cup of tea close by, so nice to keep you warm in this winter weather with a nice cup of tea. So it looks like it could be the great white pelicans. So it is a large white water bird with quite a hefty bill. As you can see, the males in breeding plumage do have quite a prominent yellow-orange throat pouch and a very interesting yellow coloration on the bare skin on their eye. So yeah, quite cool to see these pelicans. Obviously they do migrate through these dry areas, so they do move through these dry areas and come into these pans and watering holes. It looks like they could be feeding. So they could be feeding in this area. They do have pink legs, and these legs can be seen. Oh, and we have a hippopotamus. Mr. Hippo using the bathroom. So, an interesting story about the hippos here. So there's quite a few hippos that reside in this pan in front of Wangi Safari, in front of Wangi, in Wangi at the hide. So we've got two cameras in Wangi, one at Wangi Safari Lodge and one at the hide. And there are a few hippos that kind of live in this pan. And one of the hippos is rather aggressive. He's actually killed a buffalo. So imagine a hippo killing a buffalo. It's a shame. This grumpy hippo that lives in this pan, he's notoriously known for chasing wildlife away from this pan. And one day I was sitting at the hide watching this exact pan, and they told us the story of when the hippo killed a buffalo. So yeah, these pelicans are carnivorous birds. Their diet primarily consists of fish. So fish is their main food source. Looks like it's quite windy in Wangi. I saw earlier we were at Jackie's pan. Also looks like it's very windy in South Africa. Typical winter wind blowing these pelicans' feathers all over the place. So these pelicans, as they dive, they will scoop up fish using that expandable throat pouch of theirs. Oh, a monitor lizard. Look, we've got a monitor lizard also on the prowl. Very busy day today. We've started off with lots of activity here in Wangi. So we have some comments coming through. Harriet Hodgen, thank you for sending your comment. Hello, hello. Harriet is greeting everyone in FC. So we do have Nadine with us today in Mission Control. Yeah, seems like quite a chilly day for you there, Harriet, in Cape Town. It is a chilly day here in Zimbabwe, not as chilly as Johannesburg, I must say. So Joburg, when I left, temperatures were lows of 4 degrees to about 14, 15 degrees. But Zimbabwe, we currently sitting in Bulawayo here, lows of 10 degrees to about 23 degrees. So yeah, nice, cool winter weather that is kind of, yeah, brushing over southern Africa. So keep warm, Harriet Hodgins. We also have a comment coming from Deb D. Deb D has been a member for a few months now, so thank you for joining us. Deb is joining us from Pennsylvania over in the US. I wonder what this monitor lizard could be up to. Looks like there's an elephant dung that has been scattered. So these monitor lizards will often, they're also carnivorous reptiles, so they will roam around the edge of these banks. I know they're notoriously known for raiding the blacksmith lapwing nests. You could be looking in this elephant dung for any grubs or insects. Monitor lizards are also love to feed. They love their protein. They're big protein creatures, so they love to eat eggs. They'll raid crocodile nests, they'll raid bird nests at the water's edge. I always think of the Komodo dragons when you see these monitor lizards. They're like a small version of a Komodo dragon. This fierce claws can give you a nasty scratch, even for a predator like a leopard. They try to take on this monitor lizard, they definitely come away with a few nasty injuries from those sharp claws. This monitor lizard's got a very long, thick tail as well, which they use for flicking. I think it was with Trishala in Amakala. Ages ago, she had a segment where a young leopard was trying to attack a monitor lizard, and he kept getting flicked right on the nose. This little leopard was not very impressed with life and that he could not capture this monitor lizard. They do have very thick skins, these monitor lizards. I know myself as well. Growing up as a child, we often had monitor lizards. I grew up on many game reserves. Often had little monitor lizards sneaking in to try and get into my rabbit coop or into the chickens, and the dogs would often try and get in there, and their skin is very, very thick. So they're very well known for raiding farms, chicken coops. These monitor lizards, they can be a little bit of a hassle when they're near any sort of domestic animals. Very well adapted to surviving in the savannas. Oh, check out these pelicans, they're still busy feeding. Catherine, thank you for joining us today. Catherine is sending her greetings. Thank you for being with us today. Deb D also sent her comment about these beautiful pelicans. So yeah, they're very busy feeding these pelicans. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm having a look, and could be the water levels that have been dropping because of the dry season here in Southern Africa. It's exposing a lot of fish have limited habitat, so perfect place for these pelicans to come and feed on the variety of fish that might be slightly disadvantaged because of the lowering water levels. Oh, hello, Mr. Hippo. I'm trying to remember what this hippo's name is. I think some of the staff at the hide have given this hippo a name, but I'm not too, can't remember what his name was. So the day he attacked this poor buffalo, so he's been known for chasing kudu, sable, impala, anything that comes down to the water to drink. This hippo, I'm not sure if this is the individual, but most likely it's a hippo that's big male on his own, and he often chases all the antelope away from the water. And on the specific day, there was a big buffalo breeding herd that came down to the watering hole. And shame, there was an injured individual that was at the back, left behind, drinking while the rest of the herd moved away. And this hippo came out of the water just like he is right now, and actually ran after this injured buffalo, and he just started chomping away at this poor hippo's backside and stomach. So yeah, I'm sure he's caused quite a bit of injuries. That buffalo probably got a few of those nasty big tusks right through his stomach. The buffalo did end up dying a couple of hours later, probably of peritonitis. He probably also had some intestines that were hanging out as well. So not a good day for that poor buffalo. And very unusual sighting to have a hippo attacking a buffalo. Strange things do happen in the African bush, I must say. Never be surprised by what could happen out there. So, seeing as it is winter, it's quite common to see hippos out of the water during these cool winter days. I know Wangi's a bit windy at the moment. Some days in winter in Wangi, June, July, can still be quite cold. Still have a bit of a jersey on. Oh, a monitor lizard still roaming around. Seeing if he can take advantage of a free meal somewhere.
Katika mwanga wa mwezi kivuli hutembea, mrembo mweusi anayepotea, macho yake ni taa, gizani huwaka, fuvu la msitu, malkia anayejificha.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
This is what they call a shambi, a family, a whole herd of elephants.
But nature is beyond amazing. Nature is just everything.
We'd love to hear from you. Questions, comments about biology, Africa, safari.
She's using her tail like a monkey.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing.
Incredible.
Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. The best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Alrighty, so I've got some more comments that we're gonna read out here. So we've got Mr. Ellie Mental is joining us. Hello Ellie. So Ellie is greeting myself and Nadine and everyone else that's watching today. Apparently it is wet and cold over in Perth in Australia. So apparently Nadine is just updating me. We've got a really cool scene at one of the Black Eagle camps. So whoa. Let's go have a look at that black eagle, see what's happening there after our pelican has just made a kill of a large fish. Alrighty, so it looked like our great white pelican was really struggling to swallow that fish. He might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew. So we are over at this Black Eagle cam. I guess this is the one in Salati, if I'm not mistaken. I know we do have two Black Eagle cams. One is in the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens in Roodepoort, Little Falls, which is actually just around the corner from my house. And yeah, we've got this little Black Eagle chick here. So there's one chick in the nest. Just having a look. This little chick, there's one chick left in the nest. I wonder if the chick is eating. You can see the little white fluff ball just curled up in the nest there. So this is the Black Eagle, or also known as the Verreaux's eagle. This nest does look very well maintained. Lots of fresh vegetation being brought in there just on the side of the cliff. Perfect nesting place for these Verreaux's eagles. They do normally only have 2, very rarely 3 eggs, but often the other eggs are just an insurance policy to make sure one of the chicks does survive. Come on, let's see the little chick. This adult looks like it's very busy constructing the nest, or maybe doing some nest maintenance. All right, so this is over in Shalati. Sometimes I get a bit confused with the two locations. But yeah, both of our locations on AfriCamp do have chicks with the black eagles at the moment. So yeah, lovely to see that the populations are doing so well. Got some more comments coming through here. So Harriet Hodgins, yes, Harriet, the hide is a very busy location today. Nice to have those pelicans, and there's always a hippo roaming around. But yeah, very busy start to the show. We've got Mfundo that has sent through a comment that apparently Mfundo is snacking on a delicious chocolate muffin and a cup of tea. That sounds like quite a delightful snack. We have another comment here from Mfundo. Yes, this is a lovely view. Always wanted to see this nest. James has sent a comment as well. It is a beautiful view of this black eagle. James, I'm just hoping the eagle will turn a little bit. You can see those white feathers underneath its wings there, but I'm really hoping it'll turn around so we can see a little bit more of its face. And it actually looks like it has made a kill. I thought it might be doing some nest maintenance, but it's looked like it could be ripping off little pieces of meat to feed its chest, feed its little chick. It's right in front of its chest there, whatever it's captured. So these black eagles are known for, they can catch snakes, anything snakes, smaller birds, little reptiles, and their chicks can eat meat from the time they hatch out of their eggs because they have very high protein requirements that they need in order for them to grow very quickly. So the wingspan of these black eagles is about 2.3 to about 2.4 meters, or if you're measuring in feet, about 6 to 7 feet. A bird like this will roughly weigh about 3 to 5 kilograms, or about 6 to 12 pounds. So it's quite a large eagle. These black eagles are endangered, or Verreaux's eagles are endangered in a lot of reserves. So all of these birds that are being protected and preserved, it's so important in order to protect this species. So they are native species to southern and eastern Africa. They really like to occur in these mountainous regions, and I always know black eagles as the perfect hunters of hyraxes. So hyrax or rock dussies are the perfect kill for these black eagles. So wherever you get cliffs and big rocky mountainous areas, rock dussies or hyraxes, black eagles will be close by. So for me, that's one of the keystone species of rocky mountainous regions. So I'm actually quite close to Matopus at the moment, and Matopus is a rocky area, rocky region, especially known for their hyraxes, their black eagles, and of course leopard. Come on, little chick. What? You can see those yellow feet. Love to see that little yellow bill and cere. Oh, you can see the V mark on the back of this black eagle's shoulders there. Isn't this a magnificent bird of prey? So Mfundo is asking, oh, have a look. I think it is a hyrax, folks. Have a look. So this adult black eagle has picked up a piece of whatever carcasses that it's ripping apart for its little chick. And as I mentioned, it could actually be a hyrax. I have seen a hyrax, dead hyrax, in this nest that they'd killed before, feeding to the chick. So I guess that's what the black eagles are snacking on this afternoon. Some nice raw, very rare hyrax. So Mfundo was asking about this chick, and if eagles carry their chicks on their wings when they're ready to fly. So Mfundo, no, I've not experienced this, but again, as I mentioned earlier, nature can always surprise us. But no, the adult eagles don't generally carry their chicks on their wings when they're ready to fly. What happens is they'll start strengthening their wings when they're in the nest, flapping, lots of flapping, bouncing and jumping when they're in the nest. And then if possible, if there's small trees close by, they'll have very short little practice flight sessions. So it's just like humans when you have trainee pilots learning to fly planes. They start off very slow, kind of learning the ropes of flying, and then slowly they start flying further and further distances. So yeah, they really need to strengthen those wings of theirs before they'll be able to fly.
Now this leopard that we're looking at is known by the name of Hlalamba.
Female. If they are close enough on a rock that you can see them, sometimes they're in pairs, but you do get crows or ravens in a similar habitat, so they can often be confused with smaller birds of prey if they're very far away. But yeah, such an incredible bird, and such a privilege to be able to be watching a black eagle feeding its chick. So these black eagles will also feed on small reptiles, just like our monitor lizard. Alright, so it's been lovely watching this black eagle, but she doesn't seem to be too keen to show us her chick. So why don't we head over to Stony Point and see some living hyraxes that we've just been talking about, those little rock dussies. So this is exactly what we've been speaking about. Sorry, unfortunately, these hyraxes, we've just been watching one of their cousins being very ferociously devoured by a black eagle and its chick, but all part of the cycle of life. Everything needs to fit into the ecosystem. So these hyraxes do form a diet of black eagles, but also of leopard. So leopard that live in very mountainous regions feed a lot on these hyraxes. These hyraxes are very high in fat. You can see they have a very busy day, and this is pretty much what hyraxes do most of their day. So they don't move around too much. Huh? Alright, so I think our black eagle chick is actually visible, so why don't we head back across to our black eagle and see that little chick. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is my first sight of this little black eagle chick, and look how cute it is. Completely white. You can see the little black ear holes on the sides of its face. It's got a little yellow beak. How cute. What a lovely view this is, hey? Oh my gosh, how special. So, I mean, I've been a guide for going on 10 years now, and to have this sighting, I've never seen something like this so close. I've seen black eagle nests, but to see them, it's such a far distance away, and you use your binoculars, but you mostly can just see the nest, like the nest at Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens. You just see the nest and the parents flying in and out. So to have this view is such an incredible view, to actually see up close and personal a black eagle with its chick on the nest. So we've got some more comments coming through here. Wildlife Lady, thank you for joining us today, Wildlife Lady. Apparently Wildlife Lady has never seen this camera before, and yes, Wildlife Lady, I've only recently saw this camera a few months ago. I do know of the Walter Sisulu Botanical Garden camera, but this is a new camera to me, so very exciting to have another pair of black eagles that are being monitored. We have got another question from Ben. So Ben is asking, do eagles molt? So obviously this chick, you can see that it's very white in color. So yes, it will go through many different molting transitional phases from its feathers, changing from those very soft, downy chick feathers into the adult feathers. So some of these bigger birds of prey do take many years to actually acquire their full adult colorations. So yeah, some bigger birds of prey can be between 3 to 5 years before they're actually fully matured. And this is a very good way to tell if a bird is sexually mature, is if it has its full adult colors. Generally by the time those full adult colors set in and they're this deep black color, you know that they are now a mature bird, ready to head out into the world, find a partner, and start their own little black eagle family. So Lenny is sending through a comment. This chick definitely has grown very fast, Lenny. I saw this chick maybe 2 weeks ago, and it was just such a tiny little thing. So yes, because of all that meat that this chick is consuming, lots of protein, lots of calcium, lots of bones, tissue, all kinds of things that it's eating, lots of roughage, it's really giving it a very good start in life. They have very good pair of black eagle parents here that are feeding this chick very well. Oh wow, look at that. So see the white under the white color just above its tail there, and of course you've got that very prominent V shape coloration on the back of that black eagle, or the rose eagle, perfect for identifying. Alright folks, should we head over to one of our other cameras over in Botswana and see what is waiting for us? Oh, alright, so this looks like a new camera. I've not seen this location before, but yeah, lovely to see some zebra here. I'm just going to respond to some of the questions that have come through. Whoop. Something's frightened the zebra here. So Sarah from the UK has commented that that is a magnificent nest with a very good view, and I agree with you there. That nest is very well built and has a 5-star view, I must say. I have another comment from Deb D. Says she can't imagine the first flight at such a high altitude. So Deb D, I do know of some hornbills in the Amazon that actually live in the trunks of trees, and the first time that they actually peek out and manage to get out of this giant tree, they plunge out of the nest and they have to either fly or find very soft vegetation to land on 50-60 meters below. So imagine these little chicks being cooped up in this tiny nest, and as they erupt outside of the hole, these hornbills can actually fly. So it's incredible how nature has adapted in order to survive in so many different conditions, and this is probably an adaptation to get away from predators. So these hornbills often nest in tree trunks, and that's a very good place to keep them safe from predators. So we have another question from Mandu Monrad. Sorry, excuse me if I pronounced that incorrectly. Is asking about the white color. Does it make them more vulnerable? So I won't say the white color on those black eagle makes them more vulnerable. It's a very good identifying feature. And as you can see, when they're sitting up on the rocks, the way their wings fold into their back, you cannot see any of the white color. So they blend in very well to the rocks when they're sitting. It's only when they're flying that you can actually see them. But that white color will also help the partners to find one another. So, yeah, whoa, check it, all of the zebra. My goodness. Just having a bit of a quiet moment here to listen to what feels like, Nadine said, all the zebra in the world congregating in one little spot to have a zebra conference. Sorry folks, this is a lot of zebra. I'm just trying, my eyes are trying to adjust to the dazzled stripes everywhere. So gosh, like there's a lot of zebra that are all coming here. There's probably a water source in this river line, so it looks like an ancient river line here. Lots of zebra coming down to drink. So you can also see some wildebeest. So we also have lots of wildebeest here. So there must be some mineral licks also. So these ancient water lines have lots of minerals. Yes, so not only are they all the zebra in the world, but they are definitely the loudest zebra, making themselves be very heard. But lovely to just listen to the sound of these zebras. So just have a few quiet moments. Take some time out of your day, just have a bit of meditation as we listen to the sound of these zebra.
Join me for a magical safari to India, a wildly exotic land of tigers, temples and Kipling. To start, we'll head to Pench and then to Doba to look for the famed Bengal tiger, as well as deer in the dappled forests, sloth bears and countless birds. We'll stay in stunning eco-lodges that blend luxury with a light footprint. Our Indian adventure culminates in Agra with a sunrise visit to the Taj Mahal.
name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Columba in the 2 cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Hyenas love wildlife.
Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
So it's quite an interesting little relationship or partnership and friendship that these 2 species have amongst each other. So the zebra will feed on very tough top layers of the grass. They have very strong teeth. I'm sure you're aware, if you've ever been bitten by a horse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, the zebra will feed on the very hard parts of the teeth, hard parts of the grass, and then the wildebeest will then come in after the zebra and feed on the softer shoots, the softer parts of the grass is what the wildebeest prefer to feed on. So it's like the wildebeest need the zebra to come and clean out all that roughage before the wildebeest can come and feed on the more soft, fragile parts of grass. So yeah, it's a very big grazing benefit for these 2 species to be together. Such a lovely sighting to see so many zebra all together. So Wildlife Lady, I agree with you there. This surely does look like a zebra valley. Doesn't look like there's any crocodiles in this water, otherwise I don't think these zebra would be going so deep into the water. It looks like a dwindling little pan. Probably lots of salts and minerals in this area too. Perfect wildlife hotspot to come and spend a few hours. Get lots of nice close-up photos of all of these zebra dazzling stripes. So this area, so Molela, it does lie along the northern movement route between the Ngai Pan National Park and the Makgalekgadi Pans. And that could be part of this migratory route I'm speaking about. That's why the zebra and wildebeest are all kind of gathering together and moving through this very ancient migratory corridor. So the zebra are usually seen seasonally depending on water and grazing availability. But yeah, some of these animals can migrate hundreds of kilometers in order to find that nice grass that they are able to feed on during the dry season. The dry season in Botswana is normally between May to October. Lots of these water sources will be drying up, and that's when a lot of the wildlife head south towards the Boteti River and the Makgalekgadi, where there's permanent water and enough grazing for all of these animals. just have another quiet moment here just to enjoy the sight of all of these zebra. Obviously lots of vocalizing when any zebra gatherings happen. You can always hear lots of vocalizing by the zebra. So let's just have a bit of a quiet moment just to enjoy this incredible sight. So yeah, lots of interesting sounds here. Sounds like a little baby wildebeest could be separated from its parents. So I can imagine this is a paradise for lions. So lions will be following these huge migratory herds as they move through, hoping to catch an unsuspecting prey. But it's very easy for predators during this time when you have the migration, because there's lots of commotion, often lots of individuals that get separated from the herd or from their mother. So yeah, it can be a perfect opportunity for those predators out there to get a bit of an easy kill. So we have a question from Alexander. So Alexander is asking if zebra are 100% similar to one another. So Alexander, no. Zebra, just like us humans, are each different and unique. Their stripes, their patterns are very unique to each and every single individual. Although, Alexander, I have found with zebra, I love zebra. My family, we've grown up having quite a few zebra that used to come and feed around our house, and we got to watch them grow from one generation to the next. So yeah, I have seen from within a specific family, so within a grandmother, and a granddaughter and a mother, there are often similarities. So I find there's often a triangle or some sort of pattern on their shoulder and also on their cheeks. There'll often be some similarities. They might pick up or inherit patterns that are very similar to their parents, but each zebra is very unique in its stripes, just like giraffe as well. Every single giraffe has its own special pattern unique to that individual. How special is that? Just like every human has a fingerprint that is unique, we are all different and we are all special. Oh. Something definitely frightening. Zebra here. Again, they have to be very wary, very cautious. Any predators around, yeah, definitely frighten them off a bit. So we've got a question from Kim Faustino is asking if most of these zebra are pregnant at the moment. So yeah, zebra they can have in different areas, they can have different peak breeding periods. They do tend to breed year-round zebra. Obviously, gestation period of a zebra is about 360 to 365 days. There's often peak breeding periods during the dry seasons, or from November to April. So we're sitting in July at the moment. But yeah, a lot of these females could be heavily pregnant. You can see this female just on the left hand side of the screen here. She's got quite a large belly. But yeah, zebra can give birth throughout the year. But generally the peak period they give birth is in November to April, and this is to ensure that the foals are born when there's an abundance of grass and favorable conditions. So in places like Botswana, many foals can be seen being born by the time they've finished their migration in Magalikhadi. So yeah, these females are pregnant on their way to Magalikhadi and I think it's Pan. So once they reach their destination, that should be when the rains have started, and that's when they will drop. So yeah, I can see at least 3 or 4 pregnant female zebra here. So it's quite easy to tell if zebra are pregnant. They get very round, very large. Shame sometimes they look quite uncomfortable in some cases. So generally zebra will give birth to one foal. It's very rare that zebra have given birth to twins. Mothers are very protective and will in some cases fight to the dead in order to protect their little offspring. It reminds me of a very busy family reunion. There's a lot happening, a lot going on, lots of vocalizing, meetings and greetings, lots of commotion happening. I don't know if anyone else is from a big family, but it's like a very big family reunion. Nadine is saying if she was a part of this big gathering, she probably would have lost her family a long time ago, and I definitely agree with her there. Again, I know the zebra can recognize one another, but there's a lot of zebra here. Like if you just try to think in every screen to try and count, you can just see 30, 40, 50, and as you move over there's another 50 and another 100. So I would have probably definitely lost my herd or my family by now as well. Luckily, a lot of species do practice imprinting, so when a female's pregnant, she will separate herself from the herd for a few days, and that gives her little newborn calf time to imprint on her. So that's to learn her smell, to learn her specific and unique call, so when they rejoin the herd, in this case, they don't get lost or separated from one another. But it still does happen, and yeah, I'm sure those hyena, jackal will be following shortly after these herds. Try and catch a bit of an easy meal. Marco Casas has sent a comment. Very nice, happy waterhole. It seems like there are no crocs to ruin the pool party here. So Marcus, yeah, lovely pool party for the zebra. I definitely don't think the zebra would be so brazen and comfortable to get so deep in the water if there were any crocodiles in this little pan. So they will come and drink at these watering holes, and who knows when is the next opportunity they'll find to drink. So the zebra will drink as much as they can while they're at these watering holes, and then they will carry on moving. Right, well, should we head back to our sleeping rock dussies over in Stony Point and see what they are up to? Look at these little dussies, aren't they adorable? Oh my goodness. So we were just talking about rock dussies earlier. How rock dussies are the prime diet for the Verreaux's eagle or the black eagles. And because they have such a high fat content, it's a very nutritious and delicious meal. So lots of fat there, lots of food to feed a little hungry chick Verreaux's eagle. These rock dussies don't spend their days too busy. I don't think I could rock dussie mode for longer than a half an hour, just sitting around doing a lot of nothing all day would drive me absolutely mental. So these rock dassies are specially designed for living in these rocky crevices. Have a look at this rock dassie's feet here. So they've got very interesting little knobbed toes that helps them to run on these rocks. They've also got a lot of adaptations in order to survive in the kind of environment that they survive in. They've got modified eyebrows, so their eyebrows are quite modified in order to protect their eyes from the sun. They obviously spend a lot of time out in the sun. They love sun tanning. It's just kind of their thing. Rock dassies are, I think they're probably like the masters of the sun tanning world. They should probably have little bikinis on, having a great time as they spend most of their days sun tanning out in the open. So Nadine is just sharing with me, she thinks rock dassies and meerkats need to have a sun off. I think it would be great. You have little rock dassies, little fat rock dassies in a little bikini, and you're a little meerkat in a little bright green mankini. I think that would make for quite a good competition now, don't you think? So we're just having a look at those rock dassie toes and how they're adapted for hopping on the rocks.
This is an unbelievable afternoon.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. This is action-packed. My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions.
Animals rely on their senses.
Share your thoughts and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
So yeah, if a hyrax manages to get a python manages to get a hold of a hyrax, that'll definitely be a good meal to sustain them for quite a while. So I think we're going to stick with our little hyraxes for a little bit longer and finish our poll. So please go ahead and vote on the poll. I'm dying to see what our viewers think of our little animal challenge that we have running on the poll. So while we do that, I'm going to address some of the questions we have. So Mufasa is asking, do the eagles finish off their prey with their beaks or claws? So Mufasa, generally with these large birds of prey like your Burroughs eagle or your black eagle or your crowned eagle. Crowned eagle is another very large bird of prey. They can actually take down small antelope and monkeys. Same as black eagle. Black eagle will kill monkeys. It is one of the animals that they will go after. So often what will happen is they'll go in and grab onto their prey with those very sharp claws of theirs and the very sharp talons, and then they'll go straight for the jugular, straight for the throat to finish off their kill. So they kind of use those two different very sharp weapons of theirs as a way of killing their prey. So Catherine has sent through a comment. Those Dassies need a pink tutu for the competition. Okay, well, yes, we can put our little rock Dassies into a pink tutu while our meerkat is wearing his bright green mankini. I just don't know if we're going to find a tutu that's big enough for these rock Dassies, because they've got quite large little bellies, I must say. Got some more comments coming in here from Shiv. Shiv says he thinks Cedric in a mankini would be a rather interesting sight. Oh, Shiv, I better not tell Cedric about that, otherwise I don't think he would be very impressed. But yes, I do think Cedric would probably pull off a very good mankini. Bright pink. So, yeah, we'll address Cedric and let him know about the mankini situation. But the question is, what would Cedric look better in? A pink mankini or a green mankini? Or, yeah, I don't know, any other suggestions, any other colors, please send them through. I'm going to go with pink. Oh, so we've got some comments coming in here. Apparently Cedric would probably look better in a tutu. I think that'll be less traumatizing for all of us, so we'll just put Cedric into a tutu as well. Sarah from the UK has sent through a comment here. She has someone small and furry lying flat out like this on her bed at the moment. So Sarah, I'd love to know what small and furry creature you have lying with you on your bed. I'm actually at a friend's house at the moment, and she has these really two cute, adorable little bulbul puppies, and another little Jack Russell. His name is Buttons, that keeps coming and finding me and barking at me every now and then to give him love and attention. So yeah, I have some little fluffy creatures close to me too, and always great to get that little puppy love in. It's like you fill up your little puppy meter. Marco has sent through a comment. Alright, so Nadine has just let me know that it seems like our rock Dassies in a tutu are winning our poll so long. I do feel sorry for a meerkat. I do like the meerkat and a mankini idea, but I think the rock Dassies definitely would last longer in the sun. Those meerkats seem to be very quick to run into their burrows and holes when it gets too hot, or when they're evading predators. So yeah, for now our poll seems to be won by, or is being won by, our rock Dassies in a tutu. Just getting through some comments here. So Marco Casa has sent a comment about the penguin chick. What about the penguin chick that is here? Interesting question, Marco. I actually haven't seen that penguin chick for a while, but last time I saw it, it was quite big, so it's probably disappeared and started roaming around in the open world already. Dark Mane Lover has sent through a comment. Kerry, how are Dassies related to elephants? So we're just getting a comment coming in here from the Zoomy about a little penguin chick, and apparently our penguin chick was moving around a little bit earlier, so maybe it's still near the nest, maybe it's still close by. We'll have a look at that and see if we can find our little chick. But Dark Mane Lover has asked, how are Dassies related to elephants? So to answer your question there, Dark Mane Lover, even though Dassies or Hyraxes do look like oversized guinea pigs, they are very closely related to elephants and manatees. So the common ancestries, they do have 3 common ancestors, and they are grouped in a clade called the Arthrotheria, which does include several African origin mammals. So yeah, they're very similar in their tusks, or their teeth. So dassies do have those very long curved incisors that I mentioned earlier, or little mini tusks, just like elephants, and they do also have a very similar foot structure. So I hope that answers your question there, Dark Main Lover. We're just having a scan around for our little penguin to see where our penguin has gone. We've got quite a lot more comments coming up. So yeah, David has sent through a comment. Hope that there's a 1970s lime green mannequin for the meerkat, Kerry. Yes, David, that is the exact mannequin that I decided to put, the exact mankini that I decided to put onto our little meerkat. Unfortunately, it seems like our Hyrax is winning the poll for the day. I do think the Hyrax would look very adorable in a little pink tutu hanging out in the sun, and probably has more resilience to being out in the sun than our meerkats, although they're both used to quite hot, arid areas. We've got Spas Inkov. Can imagine a rock dussie in a swimsuit. That would be very cute. And yes, Cedric, we're going to keep Cedric in his little tutu. I think the mankini might be a bit traumatizing, so let's keep Cedric in his little pink tutu. I'm sure Cedric's not going to be too chuffed about that. I'm sure his ears are burning right now, so I'm probably going to get a message from Cedric later. Look at all these Hyraxes. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 little Hyraxes all hanging out here, 6 or 7, so they can occur in big colonies, up to 20, 30, 40 individuals all hanging out in the same place. Incredible little colonies that they form, very close-knit family groups. Karen Sachs has sent through a comment. Kerry, I have a Jack Russell. His name is Chili. He is 11, but sweetheart with an attitude. Karen Sachs, I also had a Jack Russell called Chili. She was a little female. Unfortunately, she passed away a few years ago, but we were just chatting about how Jack Russells have some serious sass. They can be quite little Maddens or misters, full of nonsense, but yeah, very cute. Happy you have a little Jack Russell, Sarah. Karen. Sarah sent through her comment. Sarah has commented, my small furry is Simba. It's an apricot colored 10-year-old cat. It's a very cute little cat that we've got there. Oh, I think we've got some crocodile activity somewhere. Let's head across there and see what's happening. Oh, okay, so we're over a Tau. Sorry, we've got a crocodile. So it looks like the crocodile here at Tau has caught something. Let's see what this crocodile has captured. So Nadine says it didn't look too big, whatever this crocodile has captured, but we shall see in a moment. If it was something bigger, the crocodile would probably be under the water or would start thrashing about, making a bit more commotion. Maybe it just caught a fish, which is probably what our spoonbill is also trying to catch. So we've got an African spoonbill here that looks like he is filter feeding. One of my favorite birds, I'm sorry, but I love the African spoonbill. I mean, white and pink with a spoon-shaped bill. Very unusual, but very cool bird, I must say. Looks like we've got some teals as well, while we wait patiently to see what our crocodile has captured for lunch. Come on, Crocky, what have you got there? So we did get an update from our Zoomy, Mandao, about the penguins. Apparently the young penguin did start leaving the nest yesterday and followed the parents. So yeah, it seems about time that that little penguin should be roaming around and starting to adventure and explore out of the nest over in Cape Town, in Stony Point. Mr. Elemental sent through a comment saying, Kerry, I would have voted for the meerkat if it wasn't weird in a bikini, if it wasn't wearing a bikini, but apparently the mankini will never get his vote. So thank you, Mr. Elemental, for your vote there. Yes, unfortunate attire that our little creatures were wearing, but yeah, Quite entertaining. Cool. What are crocodiles up to? Come on, guys. Is there a shoal of fish? Have they found themselves a shoal of fish? Have they captured some sort of creature? What is happening?
I feel it is a rosetted morning for us. So yes, let's see what we can find.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Just a big fish that he caught a hold of. Come on, guys, what is happening there? So Spas Inkov sent through a comment, maybe the croc is trying to catch fish. He does love the spoonbill, so Spas Inkov is also a fan of the spoonbill. Never seen of one of the weirdest stalks. Yeah, it is quite a weird stalk, I must say, this African spoonbill. So we're still very curiously watching our crocodiles, so perfect habitat for these crocodiles right now to feed on lots of fish. So it's crazy to think that crocodiles eat so much fish. Alrighty folks, why don't we head across to Camelthorn? Apparently we have some activity there. Let's go see what's happening in Camelthorn over in Botswana. Ooh, so this is a new location for me as well. Just yeah, kind of the last few weeks been seeing it added into the feeds here and there. So yeah, lots of hippo activity here. Yeah, we're seeing lots of hippos and crocodiles. Incredible to see all this activity. I actually just watched a video the other day of, it seemed like a watering hole or like a riverline valley area, very similar to this camelthorn area. And there was a lion, shame, a poor sub-adult lion that was walking across this bank, but it was a very steep bank straight into the water, and eventually it ended up getting eaten by a crocodile, unfortunately. Yeah, that little very adventurous young lion ended up taking a few too many risks. It looks like we've got a little crocodile that has just scampered away from another larger crocodile close to the water. And lots of white, very white sand and soil here. So often the crocodiles here are very white in color, very ghostly looking, but when they go into the water they become this very dark color, so all that sand gets washed off and then they look very dark in color. So the crocodiles and hippos seem to live in harmony here. Lots of hippos and crocodiles in this area. It's winter, nice cold winter day, so it's common to see hippos out of the water. But yeah, look at this little baby hippo near the water. Isn't he adorable? Ooh, interesting sound. So they seem to love the sand as well, these hippos. They often come out into the sand. And last week we actually saw a crocodile in a little cave. Oh, look, a little crocodile. He just moved. It's also some interesting sounds. Some interesting sounds. I think it could be the hippos and one of the pans. On one of the sides of the pan here, there's loads of hippos. So let's have a listen to this unusual hippo sound. What an iconic sound of Africa, to hear the African fish eagle. So I think these two crocodiles were having a little bit of a fight earlier. So bigger crocodiles will sometimes eat smaller crocodiles. So I do feel sorry for small crocodiles. Within their first few months and first year of life, they are definitely scooped up and eaten by a lot of predators. So they can be fed on by, when they're still small little crocodiles, they've just hatched. The first few days they can be fed on by fish. They can be eaten by other crocodiles. I've seen fish eagles, herons, storks. I've seen monitor lizards eating baby crocodiles. Shame. So they can be eaten by quite a lot of different predators. So for a crocodile to grow to, a size of 10 feet, 20 feet, 22 feet, they really do have to overcome many different elements. And evade being eaten by many predators. So dark mane lover, yes, it is lovely to see these hippos out of the water. You can really see their true size of these hippos out of the water. Dark mane lover, I was hoping you were not going to see these hippos' true beauty when they were out of the water, because when you see a hippo out of the water, you do realize how unusually looking they are. Our little ghostly crocodile is approaching the water. Isn't he a small little guy? So he's probably, I would say, from last year's stock. So what, we're in July. Generally in most areas the crocodile nesting season is between September and November. So this crocodile is probably almost just 1 year old. He's still quite a small little guy. A lot of interesting bird life. We've got some Egyptian geese that we're calling just now. Some blacksmith lapwings. Oh, hippos. They seem to really love this nice soft sand. I don't know what the craze is about these hippos here. They often, I've seen them in this area, they just stand here with their noses in the sand, just enjoying the sun. Maybe they're rock dusty moding too. So Catherine, thank you for your comment. So Catherine, apparently camelthorn and moela are quite close to each other at the Boteti So yeah, thanks for that info, Catherine. This is a whole new area for me. I don't know this area in Botswana very well, so thanks for the information and update there. So that's probably why we get a lot of zebra here too. So I know this camel thorn, this location, obviously the zebra migrating through, also pass through into this area. Oh, there's our little crocodile cave. Last week I saw a crocodile inside that little cave, and apparently there was a hippo also trying to get into that cave the one day. Yeah, pretty unusual behavior for crocodiles and hippo to reside in little caves. Strange not to see any zebra, because I know often you get lots of zebra here, so maybe they are hanging out at Muela. That is the meeting spot for those zebra at the moment as they migrate through. So the story I told earlier about the lion, it was a similar bank to this, and as the lion scampered across the bank, you could see the crocodiles all trying to jump up and catch him. Looks like we've got some grey loweries. Is it some grey? Yep, 2 grey loweries sitting up in the tree there, scouting out, looking for any predators. Next meal. I feel like grey loweries are very mischievous birds. I feel like they're always up to something. They used to come and raid our trees. As a kid growing up, they always used to come and steal the mulberries from our mulberry tree. Very naughty little birds. So Sarah from the UK is asking if these hippo are grazing, as it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like they're doing much eating. So Sarah, as I mentioned, I'm not too sure what these hippo are up to. I think they really like the nice soft sand on their little noses there, because they often stand in the sand. I've seen them a few times on this camera, just standing with their noses in the soft sand. Again, might be a nice resting position for them. Hippos will generally graze mostly at night. Yeah, in winter, when it's a colder day, you might see them grazing during the day, but generally hippos will do a majority of their grazing at night, so they can be away from the water. Yeah. There's our fish eagles calling. So Marco has sent through his comment about these hippo being a very active pod of hippos, or a harem, also known as harem. And yeah, Marco, thanks for commenting on our little hippo crocodile cave, and I find it very unusual that these hippo and crocodiles are sharing that little cave just off to our left there. Yeah, very interesting and unusual behavior. Maybe it's a party cave, I don't know what's happening in there, but obviously there's something happening in there that is attracting the hippo and crocodile. Perfect, cool winter's day for these hippos to just hang out in the sun. There must be over 20 hippos here. Let's see if we can count how many hippos we have here. Just having a scan, seeing if there's any other wildlife out there. Let's try have a count. Let's see if we can count how many hippos. Alright, well, should we go and check out the zebra and see what else is happening? It was very busy at yeah, previous locations. Let's go check out the zebra and see if they're still busy. So we're back here at Muela Lodge in Botswana. Got not as many zebra. Looks like they've definitely dispersed a little bit. Still coming down and drinking. Just having a look to see if there's any wildebeest as well. So lots of wildebeest here earlier, and lots of zebra. Oh yeah, there's a couple of wildebeest still hanging around. They seem to be in a bit of a limbo stage at the moment. Maybe they're just spending some time in this area grazing before they move on. I can see some guinea fowl just to the left of the screen there. So Karen has sent her a comment. Karen's comment is, some animals that are herbivores eat bones. Do hippopotamuses also eat bones? So Karen, this behavior of feeding on bones is known as osteophagia. That's the behavior of feeding on bones. The behavior of feeding on soil is geophagia. So there's lots of these different phagia habits that animals will adopt for different purposes. So the osteophagia, as I'm sure you've seen giraffe, you can see giraffe feeding on bones as well to get that extra calcium. Porcupines have a very high calcium requirement that they need, so you often see bones at a kill site or carcass that might have been gnawed on by porcupines. So hippos, I've never seen a hippo practicing osteophagia, but I do know of some cases where hippos have fed on meat. So in areas that they might be struggling with food. I know in the DRC there were some hard times when there was not much grass around in some of these areas where there was a very heavy population of hippos, and hippos did actually sometimes start feeding on other hippo carcasses or chasing crocodiles off of their carcasses, and that's just because they were in very serious demand of food. They were not getting enough grass, but generally hippos are herbivores. Got another question from Alexander. Alexander's asking, are hippos dangerous to humans? Yes, Alexander. Hippos were trying to consider them as one of the big six. So hippos do kill a lot of people in Africa. The kind of conflict zones are farmland, so hippos will often come out and they can cause a lot of damage to your crops. So farmers were getting attacked by hippos when trying to chase them out of their fields. And of course, while tourists and guides are enjoying the river, they will often get some hippo trouble.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Some of you out there are brilliant at identifying hyenas.
Now, why do you think people have got this huge misunderstanding about reptiles?
Right in front of me there was the face of an astounded buffalo bull.
This is live and interactive, so everybody, if you have any questions and comments, please do send them through and let us know what you would like.
In taken on by a lot more people. So if you have the Magnificent Seven, you'll then add the cheetah and the wild dogs. Of course, we've got the rhino, elephant, leopard, lion, buffalo. And then to make the Magnificent Seven, we add cheetah and wild dog. So Dark Main Lover, very good question. Dark Main Lover is asking, is animal/human conflict very real? So yes, very much so, Dark Main Lover, especially when it comes to communities, elephants raiding crops, cattle being eaten by lions. It is a very big problem in Africa, this human-wildlife conflict. In some cases, it ends up resulting in what is known in Zimbabwe as a PAC, so problem animal control, where, for example, an elephant bull has been constantly raiding crops in villages for months on end, and eventually, if they cannot control that issue, then that animal might have to be put down. So you would get some hunters that come in with national parks, and they might actually have to put that animal down. It does happen with lions too. So often maybe an old male lion or old lioness, they realize it's very easy to hunt cows or goats, but instead of just killing one cow or one goat, they can go and kill the whole kraal of 20-30 goats all in one night, and can cause quite a lot of upset in the villages. So that's why it's really great. A lot of the camps in a lot of these lodges and national parks, they have community outreach programs to work with the local people, to educate people on animals and how important it is to preserve and protect these animals. You have a lot of initiatives. So I worked for an anti-poaching organization called the IAPF, the International Anti-Poaching Foundation, and that was one of our jobs, is to work with the community. We created these kraals to keep the cows safe at night so that the lions wouldn't eat the cattle. We also helped to put up biofences around the vegetable gardens to prevent the elephants from destroying the vegetable gardens. So yes, Dark Main Lover, human-wildlife conflict can be a very big issue in Africa, and luckily there are a lot of organizations that do work to try and help prevent this human-wildlife conflict. Oh, check these zebra having a good drink. So zebra are quite water dependent. You do need to drink at least 1 to 2 times a day. Looks like a bit of a pregnant female on the right hand side. Yeah, these females are all quite heavy, ready to give birth in a couple of months. So another question from Malinsty Marble, who is a member of 1 year. Thank you for sending your comment through, and he's commented that I think the baby zebra was very cute. Very cute little zebra sighting here. Lovely to see the zebra coming through. Well, it's definitely a lot less commotion than there was earlier. I think they've all calmed down. When all those stallions come together, they definitely fight quite a bit, cause quite a lot of trouble with one another. Very aggressive. Still hear a few male stallions calling in the background. Some blacksmith plovers calling. Shame these zebra have probably been moving such a distance. Nice for them to have an area where they can stop, feed a bit, have a drink before they move on. So we've still got our pelicans over in Wangi National Park, just in front of the Hyde Lodge. So why don't we head across to our pelicans and see what our pelicans are up to. So yeah, we've still got maybe one or two pelicans. Yeah, how many pelicans are left? So we started off the show earlier today with a lot of pelicans that were busy feeding just in front of the hide here. So this is in Wangi National Parks. We've got our grey heron that's I hope has managed to catch a little snack for lunch, and some blacksmith lapwings. So yeah, these great white pelicans are just magnificent. So yeah, it's been lovely watching them. Check as they lift their wings up. They feed, so they are omnivores. They do feed on fish. So a lot of the diet and the food they'll feed on is fish. Carp, tilapia, and catfish is one of their favorite meals. So we've got our grumpy hippo just on the left-hand side of the screen here, just outside of the water. Yeah, it's nice to see so many hippo out of the water today, just relaxing. You can see it's obviously a nice cool day, because hippos would not be out of the water if it wasn't, the temperatures were too hot. So yeah, these pelicans must be very busy feeding in this area with all the dwindling water levels. It is common for pelicans to come through. You do see pelicans in Wangi National Park at some of these watering holes, especially in the rainy season. Lots and lots of pelicans come through during the rainy season. Water birds, storks, it's incredible in this park during the green season. The wildlife sightings might not be as busy as in the dry season, but for birding, it is a birder's paradise. The dark mane lover, not a problem at all. Dark mane lovers thanking me for answering the question about human-wildlife conflict. That is a big issue in Africa. But yeah, conservation, community, and educating community on conservation is such an important part of conserving wildlife. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely day, dark mane lover. Lucy has also sent through a comment. Lucy said she actually absolutely loves this channel. Thank you for watching, Lucy. It has been a very eventful day today, I must say. We started off with these pelicans and we have just had some incredible sightings. It's been very busy. Spas Inkov has also sent through a question asking, when you guided horseback safaris in Wangi, did you see pelicans? Yes, Spas Inkov, I have seen pelicans in Wangi at Safari Lodge, so occasionally. So Spas, I don't know, from the camera that's in front of Wangi Safari Lodge, you can't always see the big camel thorn trees on the opposite side of the watering hole, but if the camera is ever zoomed out and you can see those giant trees on the other side of the watering hole, sometimes instead of it being marabou storks, there are some pelicans that sit up in those trees there. So any of our viewers that watch all of the locations on the African cameras, I would definitely recommend keeping a lookout for these great white pelicans over at Wangi Safari Lodge. And then of course during the rainy season you get lots of the cranes, the grey-crowned cranes come in big flocks and do hang out in this national park. Oh, check out these guys feeding. So these pelicans are cooperative hunters. They do form these little semicircles in the water while feeding, and that's for them to herd the fish into a very shallow area. So they'll herd the fish into this shallow area when they scoop them up together. So it's quite an interesting feeding display or feeding tactic that they have while hunting. Isn't that crazy? We did have a pelican earlier that had caught quite a big fish, and he seemed to have some difficulty in swallowing that fish. So Spasa Inkov, yes, it is quite special to see that grey heron. Again, grey herons are quite common in Wangi National Park. You do see them at most of the watering holes. Harriet Hodgen has sent through a comment about, do pelicans migrate off the African continent? So yes, Harriet, pelicans do migrate. Sorry, excuse me. So they're kind of on a residential kind of migratory route, or kind of local. They've got some local movements at the moment, so they'll move from an inland water source to one water source to the next while they're looking for food. But yeah, year round they are resident. They will kind of live in these water sources, little lakes and dams. So Harriet, just answering your question there about, so this is the local movements of these pelicans, inland movements that we're seeing right now, where they'll move within Africa from Kenya to Botswana, Zimbabwe, but when they migrate outside of Africa, they do travel to Eastern Europe, Russia, the Middle East, and of course Sub-Saharan Africa. So that's when they'll be using their kind of just moving to find more food and nesting. So most of these migratory birds will always be moving to find better nesting areas, better feeding areas. And it's incredible how these pelicans will move over thousands of kilometers following the wetland and water systems. It's very unusual and lovely sighting to have today, to watch these pelicans. Quite strange hunting method they have. So Shiv is sending through a question asking about, would different zebra subspecies mate if they had the opportunity? So Shiv, I do believe there has been inbreeding in zebra. It is possible for the zebra to inbreed. Zebra have even bred with donkeys. So yes, inbreeding is possible, and sometimes in overlapping home range areas you do get quite a lot of inbreeding within these zebra species. But once they have inbred, it is not always possible for that next generation to then breed further. I did see some pelicans last year, great white pelicans and pinkback pelicans in Botswana. It's lovely to see them along some of these water systems and rivers. They do spend a lot of time in these open areas, and it's just such an incredible sighting. I do like the pinkback pelicans, but these great white pelicans do have a lot more interesting colors. The yellow that they have on their faces, a little bigger as well. So pelicans don't usually mate for life. They generally are seasonal monogamous, so they do have monogamous seasonal pairs, and they do form one pair bond per breeding season. So they don't necessarily always stay with the same partner for more than one breeding season. Aren't they pretty? I really love the combination. They're like pink and yellow colors that they have on their bills and those flaps of theirs.
this unfolds in front of you.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Best sighting I've presented, I found myself with wild dogs. We chased the dogs around, chased them around. They ate an impala, we got the end of that. Then another impala went into Gowrie Dam down the road there, and the wild dogs went around. Eventually the impala came close to the bank. One wild dog went and grabbed it and then just pulled it out and just did what wild dogs do. It was an emotional experience, but it was very, very special.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Can you hear that? The wild is calling.
Breeding pairs, and they do actually mate for life. So the pairs will defend quite a big territory, sometimes up to 100 square kilometers, where obviously they've built around the area that they've built this massive nest of theirs, normally on a cliff's edge, which they'll use repeatedly from one year to the next. So unfortunately, these eagles do practice siblicide, and this is where one chick, the stronger chick, might outcompete or kill the younger chick, which has actually happened already in this case, but I don't think it was the previous chick that killed the other chick. Oh, what a lovely little nest. So she's building a nice nest around this youngster, and I'm sure she's bringing in this vegetation to just cool the nest down, especially in the heat of the day. These eagles will soar for hours and hours with very few wing beats, right, as they ride those thermals. And this chick has such a lovely view. Have a look at this incredible view that this chick has. So in some areas, I mentioned earlier that these black eagles are very much, their numbers are declining, although on the IUCN status they are considered least concern. But I do know in some areas where the numbers are dwindling, lots of these big birds of prey are very vulnerable to lots of environmental disturbances. Hello, little chick. Oh, check out this little thing. I think he's also trying to build his nest. Had a bit of a yawn there. So yeah, some of their threats that might threaten these big birds of prey is not just habitat disturbances, but loss of prey species. We mentioned about the hyraxes earlier. So an area where there's no hyraxes, these birds of prey struggle to find food. Oop, the female has come back. These big birds of prey do often collide with power lines, so that is one of the things that can also be a bit of a problem for these big birds of prey. What a lovely sighting this is. It's like she's trying to build the nest as snugly as she can around her little chick. Maybe it's to prevent the chick from moving around too much so the chick doesn't fall out of the nest. But you can see all these layers and layers and layers of sticks. Obviously many years of these eagles using the same nest. So obviously the perfect spot to raise a family. Karen. So Karen is asking a question about how did they get this camera up here. So a very good question, Karen, and I'm probably going to guess that they must have sent so the best thing would be during the non-breeding season is they would have probably sent some rope expert down there on some professional rock climbers, which is not something I'm very familiar with, but I'm sure they would have sent some ropes down there, and they would have sent someone to very carefully position the camera on this rock here. When there's a chick in the nest, you definitely don't want to disturb this chick. So with wildlife, you always want to make sure to have the least impact as possible. So during the non-breeding season, when there's no chicks residing in this nest, they would have probably positioned this camera perfectly here in order to monitor this nest. Shame, this poor chick is getting belted in the head by this branch by the parent. Again, maybe she's just trying to keep it safe, cover it, keep it cool. So Spas Inkov is asking how common is siblicide in black eagles. He thinks we have seen the siblicide. I think it happened because of food survival of the fittest. So yes, Spasiankov, siblicide is very common in large birds of prey, even in storks. I know a very good example is the African shoebill stork. Very incredible bird, but I'm not too much of a fan of the siblicide or infanticide that takes place in these giant spoonbills. So yeah, it is a common behavior, common practice that does happen because these large birds of prey only nest once a year. They need to make sure they have every opportunity possible for their chicks to survive. So it's kind of like just an insurance policy. So they'll have 2 or 3 eggs, and 2 of those eggs are basically just an insurance policy to make sure at least one chick survives. So we have another comment from Eagle Lover, who apparently lives in Rhodocrans on the mountain and was a part of the monitoring team. So well done, Eagle Lover. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedicated effort. Please, if you would like to share any more information on this particular nest, or if you were the one that abseiled down this rock to set up the camera, we would have loved to hear from you how that experience was. It's so important, this work and research that goes into protecting these particular species. So thank you very much, Eagle Lover. Send through that information. Always love to learn more about our locations and our characters that live there. So Chantal Allen has sent through a comment asking, does the wind bother them up here? So Chantal, again, I think that's why this black eagle's being so pedantic about building a nice, snug, cozy nest for her little one is to keep it out of the wind, prevent the wind from bothering this chick too much, because definitely if the nest is too flat on top and this wind is howling at the top of the mountains there, could blow the chick out the nest, or just cause a lot of irritation, or even change the temperature, so the chick could suffer from getting too cold. So that can be a factor, but these parents, as the black eagles, are very good parents, and they do take very close care of these chicks, especially when they are sitting on the egg. That egg needs to be warm, but not too warm, and not get too cold, otherwise the egg won't survive. I think our little chick is going for a nap. Nice little afternoon nap after he had some nice hyrax for lunch. I don't think I could eat rare hyrax like that. Oh,
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Step away from your daily stress and escape into nature with Wild Earth. Immerse yourself in the wilderness and become part of the natural landscape. Watch as everything comes alive. Join us as we slow down our thoughts, put aside our distractions, and reconnect with the wild.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you will not miss out. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7, and you can even rewind if you have missed out on something. Enjoy the behind-the-scenes video clips as well as fireside chat, or get the early offers on our travel experiences. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Mountain zebra's hooves have been adapted to walking in more rocky, mountainous areas. So yeah, there are quite a few differences between the two, but yeah, the habitat, diet, body size, there's a few characteristics that differentiate those two different species. So Eagle Lover has sent us some more information. So they do have specialized people putting up the cameras. Apparently the first female Emojis was 40 years old. So thank you, Eagle Lover, for your comment about the black eagles. Crazy to see the lifespan of some of these eagles. 40 years. Isn't that crazy to think that an eagle can grow to be 40 years old? So it's kind of understandable when you realize that they take so long to sexually mature. As I mentioned earlier in the show, some of these big birds of prey can take between 5 to 8 years to reach their full adult sexual maturity and adult colors. So yeah, generally the lifespan of some of these eagles is about 15 to 20 years. But in captivity they can reach 30 to 40 years. So very special to have a female black eagle or Verreaux's eagle reach the age of 40 years old, which is very unfortunate for a creature like this little hyrax. It means lots of hyraxes are needed to feed that black eagle and all of her chicks. Seems like this hyrax is having quite a good groom. So they've got those specialized adapted tusk teeth of theirs that are also perfect for grooming their very fluffy coats. So those coats of theirs are very useful for keeping them warm, because obviously it gets, just as it gets very hot in the day on these rocks, in those caves does get very cold at night. So they've got the thick fur, and they all create a giant hyrax. Huddle puddle. Alrighty folks, I think we've got some activity over at Lentor. So let's head over there and see what's happening at one of our other locations. So last week I remember having a great day over here at Lentor in Kenya. We had lots of baboon activity. There was a massive troop the one afternoon that we watched for most of the show. So let's keep a lookout, folks, for these 2 baboons that were injured in this troop we saw here last week. I don't know if it's the same troop, but we saw a male baboon with a very ripped, he had quite a bit of a ripped nose and looked like an injury on, I think it was his right cheek. He could have had a very nasty injury from an altercation. And then there was a female baboon that was actually missing a top part of her jaw. We were debating between it could have been a fight with another baboon, or maybe she was drinking and crocodile tried to capture her. So just if you're watching the locations, keep an eye out for those baboons. I'd love to know if they're still alive and kicking and causing havoc. The female baboon with her missing part of her nose and jaw, she still looked like she was in good condition. So amazing how nature is super resilient and can survive throughout lots of different compromising incidences. Baboons, baboons, baboons. You can never go wrong with baboons. They're extremely entertaining creatures. So these are the olive baboons, slightly different to our chakma baboons, which we all know all too well. So Spas Inkov sent us a comment. Great to see these baboons at Lentor. Hopefully we'll see the injured one these days, maybe a hammerkop. Thank you so much for your comment there, Spas Inkov. Yes, we will keep a lookout for those injured baboons. I think that other baboon family just had a lot of politics. Maybe there's a lot of politics going on in the troop. It was a very big troop. Oh, look at these little guys. Naughty little baboons. Just imagine what goes on in the mind of a little mischievous baboon. So much mischief to cause. The world is their oyster. To, get up to all kinds of naughty things. So the big male baboon, it's quite an old guy. Oh, this one's quite a fat little guy. Look at this baboon on the left. He looks like he was pulling some very interesting dance moves there. He had quite a round belly. Oh. Itchy foot, itchy foot. So this troop, lots of big male baboons in this troop. So we've got some last few comments coming in. Wildlife Lady, thank you for watching today. Wildlife Lady is thanking, FC team, our Zoomies. Darkmane Lover has also sent through a comment. Thank you for watching today. And Darkmane Lovers are thanking everyone for a lovely day. It has been a very eventful day today live at the waterhole, I must say. It's been very delightful, and we've had some very unusual and different sightings today. So I just want to say a big thanks to our viewers for watching. Thank you for keeping us entertained, sending through those questions and comments. I've got a few more slots on this week live at the waterhole, so I look forward to seeing you next time. Let's watch these baboons as we end out the show today. Have a fabulous week, and wishing you all the best for your Monday. Have a lovely day, folks.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight, a journey to South Africa's wildlife wonders. Join us on an exciting virtual safari
to relax, learn, and be inspired. Discover stunning landscapes, come to know our iconic animal stars, and witness profound moments in conservation. If you'd like to plan a safari adventure to these magnificent wildlife places, then visit Wild Earth Travel, where safari comes alive.